Hello YouTube, my name is Brandon Red. If you've never watched this channel before, this is Ramen Noodle Budgets, where I try to show you guys how to make things on a pretty relatively easy budget. Now today's video was supposed to be out a couple of days ago. Due to Hurricane Ian and me being in Florida, I was actually on a cruise ship and I was stuck at seas for an additional 2 days. So I'm finally back home and finally finishing up this video for you guys to be out for October 3rd, so still in time for the Halloween series. Now these masks have gotten a lot more difficult to find, the Trick or Treat Studios Captain Kirk that is. I had to get one off eBay for around $90 to $100 when they used to be around retail of $60 to $70. So that being said, they're getting a little bit more difficult to do unless they decide to release another run. But making this mask was so much fun. I learned a lot of things, especially how difficult eye cuts are on Michael Myers masks. I had no idea that was a thing because I buy them stock with the eyes already cut. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into this video and I hope you guys enjoy.
I just wanted to quickly point out that the insane majority of my viewers are unsubscribed, so if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to be notified of newly released videos. Alrighty, so getting right into it, this is what the stock Trick or Treat Studios Captain Kirk looks like. It's a little bit different than how the one they had in the original 1978 film was produced, but it does have the general look and it has all the features we need, including those lovely sideburns and these unbelievably long eyebrows, which I don't really think William Shatner had, but you know how it goes, whatever. And the hair is a little bit brown. Now in this video, I really don't color the hair too much. I think it looks pretty close. I didn't really add any black streaks, but you definitely can. I started by removing those eyebrows. Now the second one came off a lot easier than the first. Same thing with the sideburns. To help get those off, it's a little bit of VMP naphtha is really great. You just kind of rub it right over there and then begin to peel the eyebrows off or whatever hair you're trying to remove. It works pretty great. I had a few stragglers in there, but it didn't matter too much. Now the sideburns were a little bit more tricky. They were definitely pretty stuck on there. Ignore my super long nails right now. I just got rid of my nail biting habit on my left hand, which is crazy. It's been like a decade, whatever, irrelevant. So I started going ahead and removing those sideburns, and to help with that, a little bit of naphtha on a brush, painting under the glue wherever I can is really going to help pull that off. Now you can kind of see, if you had the mask, there's a really great cutoff right there where the hairline breaks from the sideburns. That's what I used to stop, and I figured I'd glue the hair down later. That one you can kind of almost see where I didn't go far enough up, but I will later off screen, so it'll make sense a little bit later. But basically the hair is going to cover that spot, got rid of those ugly sideburns, and it leaves that awesome little sideburn mark. Now the eye cuts were the part I feared the most, and I kind of botched them on my first few attempts. Throughout the video off screen, I will go ahead and kind of keep looking at it and dremeling it out, but in the video you'll kind of just see my basic start. So I used a pen, gave a very basic shape. I wish I would have taken my time a little bit more because I kind of just winged it, whatever. And I started off way too small, which I think was better than going way too big, and then used some really sharp scissors to go ahead and cut those out. It was very scary for me because I'd never done that. Like I said, I've only ever used masks which have the eye holes already cut. You can see how jagged and messed up those are. So I went in with a Dremel using a bit that I usually don't see anyone use. I only see people use the felt tips, but I just used my round, normal Dremel bit, and it worked really well to clean up the edges as well as kind of expand upon the original cuts that I did. These are my first ones. Like I said, these don't look right, and I kind of noticed that originally, and I kept kind of staring at it like what was wrong. The left eye is not nearly far enough in towards the nose, but here's the mask after the initial eye cuts, just to kind of show that it already looks like Michael Myers. It pretty much has everything you need. Yeah, the mask really does all the work. It's really going to be light and shadows, just the rest, but we're going to paint those on. So I started using VMP and naphtha. Again, great for mask making to kind of wipe the mask down, get rid of any sealants or any other oils left on the mask. Now, the more I did this, the more I realized the actual skin tone was coming right off, and it was revealing the awesome latex color beneath. So what I attempted to do was just wipe the entire mask down to get to that color, so I didn't have to paint the skin tone, but that didn't really work, and you can see it here, and you'll definitely see it in the next clip. when you use too much paint thinner or naphtha on a mask, it's going to start curl up and look like that. Now, don't freak out if you've done this. I've done this so many times and thought I ruined the mask. It's going to do what is known as flashing out when it kind of just evaporates, and it's going to start looking back to normal, usually within 24 hours. It can definitely take a while depending on how much it absorbs. From here, I apparently lost the footage, but what I did was actually remove the full front of the hairline, and then I began to use a latex paint. Well, I made my own latex paint. I used a skin tone or a tan color, mixed it with a little bit of liquid latex and water till I got a really runny milk consistency, and began to airbrush that on slowly. I got a color I liked that looked like it matched the original Captain Kirk mask a lot more. I find the Trick or Treat Studios one tries to go too realistic, so it's a very, very specific skin look with like, you know, pigments of red in there, which isn't what the original mask looked like, and it's definitely not what we need. But you want to start off with a very, very, Caucasian, whatever Caucasian color tan, and then I'm going to go over that with white paint to create that Michael Myers look. Now, I did this very, very thin coats, avoiding areas that the original mask had, like underneath the neck as well as underneath the nose and the ear. You want to leave these areas because that's what made the first mask kind of have that specific look. Now, I'm going for a 1978 look, but if you're going for a look from the Halloween 2, it's definitely going to have a lot more of that skin tone showing through beneath the mask. From here, I'm just using a little bit of naphtha to remove some paints from some areas where I went too hard, but this really isn't required because I will go back in later with more of that skin tone to kind of add more air elements. I started with a black wash just to kind of add a little bit of paint into some of the cracks and crevices of the eyebrows and some other areas just to dirty it up just a little bit there. And as you can see, I'm going back in with that skin tone to add a little bit more definition to the inner eyes, the lips, as well as to make that neck stand out just a little bit more. I was going very close to a Halloween 2 look, and I had to stop myself. So I actually do end up going back over the inner eye a little bit more with white later on, once I start kind of messing up the eyes and keep working on the eyes until I get that look that I like. Then I began to do some dry brushing with a black paint. No liquid latex here, literally just black acrylic paint. Dry brushing over the eyebrows to kind of define those a little bit more. And I also went over the lips to try and make those a little bit darker just to kind of match the shadows. Now, on the original 1978 mask, there really isn't too much definition to the cheeks. It's really lighting, but I do like to add those to the masks just to have them have that extra bit look there. Already, I'm really starting to like the look here. It's really starting to look like Michael Myers, but it does have an H2 stretch to the eyes just because of the way I cut them, but I'm alright with that, honestly. First try, I can't complain too much. For the hairline, what I went ahead and did is I cut the glue lines off where I ripped the hair. I used E6000, I put it in a cup and just kind of painted it over the original hairline. Luckily, this mask does have some definition on the actual mold or of the original sculpt that shows where the hairline should be, so it was really easy to work off of, and you can even see that line from where the sideburns were. Now, the one thing I didn't do with this mask is add the liquid latex sideburn kind of rip that the original had so iconically. I didn't add it just because I like the way it was looking right now. And I was kind of okay with, you know, just having that strike down the side of the masks from where our sideburn was kind of molded into the mask, so I'm okay with that. You can see a little bit how messy this was, but I went ahead and brushed everything away, making it look really clean. To style the hair, I'm using Aquanet hairspray because it works really well. It's really cheap too. It's like 99 cents a can, and I use it for 3D printing. I started by doing that kind of pompadour Michael has in the middle of the mask, as well as adding those little twisties and little, you know, twist that he has of wisps of hair on the left and right side of the mask kind of going in one direction. I'm still kind of working on that, getting that perfect, but other than that, that is the mask. I really liked the look this kind of created in the end with the different layers of me going back and forth and repainting. Eyes are nowhere near perfect, but I do like the look. My eyes kind of, I have a bigger face, obviously, so the mask stretches very close to my face, so it's hard to kind of cover those eyes. It kind of creates an H2O look, but other than that, that is the final look.
So I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. I learned so much making this mask, like I said before. There's definitely a lot of things I would do different, but I really feel like redoing the hairline really makes these masks pop a lot more than the stock, really harsh glue line look, which I totally understand, you know, given factory constraints. But I think being able to redo that and learning how to do that really sold this mask, and I think the hair is something that I've definitely been working on for years, and I'm really liking the look this one has. But yeah, be sure to check out my next couple of weeks videos because we're gonna be doing some more rehauls, including this one, which a lot of people have been asking. I finally got my hands on one here in Florida at Party City. Right off the shelf, it honestly looks amazing, but I am gonna be doing a rehaul. You guys know this channel, it's kind of how things go. But the one thing I wanted to announce is we are gonna be doing another few giveaways this year, very similar to how I did in 2018, starting with this 1978 Rehaul mask. Now, if you would like a chance to win this mask, be sure to go ahead and like this video, share it on at least one piece of social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, whatever, as well as comment and subscribe if I didn't say that already. Please make sure to do all 4 of those things. It'll automatically put you in the list for the people we can choose from, and I will do a release video here on this date of when we will be doing the drawing, and I'll have it uploaded and reach out to the winner, very similar to 2018. Write a few more giveaways for some other masks throughout the season, as well as maybe even a good guy doll for an upcoming video here very soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to, like I said, keep checking out for the latest releases, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.